I'm talking to David from Pennsylvania. David, you're on the line.
Yes, hello, Alex. I want to disagree with you a bit because I do not believe that this seat was stolen from President Obama. This seat was stolen from we, the people.
That's true.
We, the people, just like elect our representatives. We elected President Obama, and it's like this Supreme Court. It's just like is for us, not just for the President of the United States. And so when the Republicans held up having these. I'm sorry. I have my problems because I fought in the Iraq War and I have traumatic brain injury and I just lost my whole train of thought right there. But for those reasons, but because of that, I just feel like
this was a stolen seat, but it's stolen from the people, not from President Obama. And David, I agree with you completely on that point. That this is how our democracy works. All power resides in the people. We, the people, decide to lend our power to elected representatives as long as they represent us. And when they cease to represent us, we, the people who hold all the power, we pull our power away. We can lend it to somebody else. That is how our system works. So I agree completely with you, David, that this isn't stealing. I use it as a shorthand that they stole Obama's seat. But the point is they stole our seat. This is in the long history of our country, basically whatever happens with this seat, there should be an asterisk next to it, right? I mean, like, this is a new place where we are because the Senate Republicans last Congress did something that is unconstitutional.
Yes, it is.
On its face.
And on that note, for me, it's just like, right or wrong. I went to Iraq, but I did. I signed up to serve my country, right or wrong. I got blood up in Iraq. I shed my blood, but I shed it for a freedom. The freedom to speak, but also the freedom. It's just like the constitutional process that goes into it. And you do not have to go to Iraq. You did not have to serve that country or our country to have that to have that right of the constitutional process. It was like our whole process was abrogated by that body that said it there, and it was just the whole constitutional thing there, and I'll just let it go at that. But for us, it was just like totally wrong. It just because I'm like fading to get on that point.
David, thank you so much for your call and your service. And, it's true that this is our country, all of our country. And it has, there are kind of petty political fights that happen here and there. But then there is a deeper, I don't even know what it is. It's not a truth because it is a creation of all of us together. It's an experiment, it's been called, but, it really is a gamble in many respects. It's a wager that the American people have made over the past couple centuries that we can do something together and we can have our power kind of turn into a government that represents the will of the people expressed through representatives, right? We elect them. But there is this sort of rule book that we also are sticking to.
Yes, it is.
And we can update it every once in a while when we find the rules are out of date. But when you're not updating it, it is the rule book. That's the Constitution. And in this case, as you said, David, wars have been fought, lives have been lost, blood has been spilled to protect and preserve the Constitution as a sort of rule book for this wager that we make that we should control our own destinies, that we, the people, are the best force to be in charge of our own destiny. And it's a new idea in the long arc of humanity. There's lots of ideas. Go back in history. Most of them are actually, the might makes right. The strongest person seizes power and commands and demands from everybody else.
Yeah.
But we had an idea, and it's not like America came up with it on its own. It is it ties together these broad trends through history where people were standing up and saying that birthright of power is not only an illogical idea, it's a dumb idea. It leads to the worst outcomes when you just pretend that the power resides in only some people's blood, and then it is handed down generation to generation. That is a guarantee that you're going to end up with idiots and sociopaths actually in charge of things. And, we fought wars over that. We left that system. And again, David, I'm just agreeing with you that at its fundamental, the question that we're dealing with here is the rules were broken. The Constitution was not followed, and they stole Obama's Supreme Court pick, but it's Obama as an expression of what we want to see, we the people in this country. And that's a huge concept. That's a very large thing that we're dealing with. And that's why I say, like, the 60 vote is the bare minimum that this has to be as a threshold. If I could say there should be a 75 vote threshold, this would be the time. This would be the time. David, thank you for your call. I agree with you that what we're dealing with is an unprecedented, unconstitutional grab of power by McConnell and the Republicans. And I think the Democrats need to come at this with that in mind. So they have to filibuster. You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. We're going to take more of your calls right after this.